Once again, good afternoon to all. So today's topic of discussion is on the second important compound of nitrogen. So there are two important compounds of nitrogen. On what ground? Important from the industrial point of view. So first already we understood about the ammonia, including uses at the end. That was specially last pictorial uses, special uses. And today we start HNO3. Okay. So dangerous acid, all mineral acids are dangerous. Okay, right. So now next, this one, about this also I think yesterday we have gone through the content of this one. Yeah, about the nitric acid. Okay, it is a monoprotic, explained to Sandeep Jadhav. So everything over. So color also, color due to that nitrogen dioxide, NO2, all that, and the preparation in the lab on small scale using either potassium nitrate or any uh, extreme left side nitrate. Okay, so now this one we have to discuss today. Industrial preparation, that is manufacture of nitric acid by the very famous here also Oswald. So he has done it. So Oswald's process of manufacture of nitric acid. Okay, so how ammonia involves some steps. So here in every, so you see every preparation will have procedure. So whenever you go to laboratory, we first understand what is the aim of the experiment. What aim? What is the aim of the? So for that, what all we require? Chemicals. What all the apparatus we require? What is the procedure? So because after understanding theory part, we will go and do it. Okay, we are not doing any research work here. So first we understand. If it is research work, then first we will acquire the basic knowledge. Then we go to the higher research, like that. This is usual procedure we follow. So when we have the procedure in the hand, so we will go with the method. So here also we have so many steps. So step number one is, before the step number one, the important raw material we require is ammonia. See, ammonia we learnt in the uses part. Ammonia is used to prepare nitric acid. So now it has come now. So ammonia is our raw material or the starting chemical to manufacture nitric acid. So several steps are there. Step number one is what? First we convert ammonia to nitric oxide. Okay. So using strong conditions, catalyst, temperature, pressure, so all those strong conditions we use. So we get the nitric oxide with H2O. Okay. One H is extra here. Type mistake. You have to remove it. H extra H here in the equation. So it is 6H2O. Okay. H you remove it. So after getting NO, then now we'll go to step 2. That NO is shifted to next chamber, next room. So where that NO is subjected to strong oxidation. Okay. So NO becomes NO2. We want NO2. Directly NO2 is not formed. So it is highly this one. Therefore, first we go via. So when the direct availability is not there, if it is taking too much time or the expenditure part, so then we do two steps, which is easier than the direct. So that's why first we convert to the nitric oxide. The nitric oxide to nitrogen dioxide is very easy. So we convert the NO to NO2. That is called oxidation of nitric acid to nitrogen dioxide. That is step number 2. Step number 3. Once the nitrogen dioxide is ready, here there are two ways. One way is what? One way is either you can convert nitrogen dioxide to HNO3 along with nitric oxide, so that nitric acid is collected and nitric oxide is sent back for the further recycling process of a manufacture of nitric acid. Or you can go for NO2 with water along with oxygen, directly you can convert into HNO3. Either direct convert from NO2 to HNO3, both are feasible. Small difference there, but from expenditure part, from the convenient part, from the method part, both are allowed. Both are easy. Both are giving good result. So we follow both, anyone after the two methods. Okay. So either NO2 directly done to HNO3, converted to HNO3, or NO2 to HNO3 along with small amount of NO, the NO is sent back after the filtration absorption techniques. Okay, right. So here I have taken NO2 directly converted in the to HNO3. So, and this is the plant. So what is the plant? Plant is not the biological plant. So it is a plant is set up. Okay, setup of some buildings, some materials, cement plant, steel plant, so that is a plant. So this is a chemical plant, not the biological plant. So plant consists of many areas where in some area we convert, in some area we bring change, in some area we store, in some area furnace we heat, in some area we evaporate. So entire setup of the processes within the form of a building or the machines, that setup is called what? A plant. Okay, so this is a plant. So entire plant is very difficult. So whenever we visit industrial plant, we will see. Otherwise, diagrammatically, so to understand how it is prepared at the class level, so we do it. So when the same knowledge will apply, so exactly we are the part of the process. Okay, right. So this is the plant diagrammatic way of representing. The first portion is called what? Converter. So here main part is done. Ammonia is converted to nitric water, that nitric oxide. That is the important part. So that is called converter. So that nitric oxide is taken through the many pipeline connections. That is not shown here. Only one is shown, just to understand. Then this is chamber. Okay. So this is called what? Room. A very big room known as oxidation room, where we are converting nitric oxide to the nitrogen dioxide by the oxidation process. Okay. So now in this chamber only the main product is made ready. In the first chamber, raw material is converted, and in the second chamber, it is the main material is made ready for the production of HNO3, and that is sent to the next chamber. It is called what? Absorption chamber, where nitrogen dioxide is absorbed. Okay, so from the top we are trickling down water slowly. Okay, it comes via this quartz species. So that is, we are making the water to move slowly, so that the slow movement of water plus the vapors of all these which comes from the uh, oxidation chamber, so they will mix, and ultimately when the NO2 mixes with water, we get what? Nitric oxide. By chance any waste gases comes out due to the not absorbing properly, they will escape in the gaseous form, because it is it's NO2 which is easily soluble compared to other oxides. Therefore, NO2 solubles more and converts into nitric acid, that is taken out from this outlet at the bottom. Okay, so whereas lighter gases will escape from the upper outlet, once again it is recycled. So it will go continuous. As I said, in the case of ammonia, weeks together, months together. So tons of ammonia, tons of HNO3. So many gallons of HNO3 are manufactured, keeping 24 hours ready in 3 shifts. Okay, right. Now this one. Once we get to the nitric acid, normally if you carry out correct way, but still there are some problems associated with the material or the reaction conditions. So we don't get a high purity. So whenever you prepare, first our duty is to go for the purification or the concentration or the refinement. Okay. So from the 62 we will go for 70%. If we got 70%, still further purification 80%. So we are increasing the concentration of nitric acid. Okay. So that is done here. So that is done by why? Important. Two chemicals are there. One is the sulfuric acid and the other one is what? Phosphorus pentoxide. So sulfuric acid is what? Sulfuric acid is, it is a dehydrating agent. So that means it absorbs the any moisture content. Okay. So that is absorbed in the first chamber only. That is called dehydrating chamber or the column, big columns. Okay. Many columns are there. So there, so after removing the water content, they will come out with all HNO3, NO2, waste gas, everything will come out. Okay. If at all is there. That is done here. So any by chance if they develop color, the color is removed here, it is bleached here. So bleaching is to remove the color stains. So color property and impurity property or the other property are taken care here with the phosphorus pentoxide. Okay, so that HNO3 now is free from other contamination. So almost 95 to 98% purity we get. If you want still 100% HNO3, then there again special techniques are there, which is not required, because the more you go for the purification, the cost factor will increase. Okay, in the market, you have to increase the cost, because when you are adopting different techniques, so you have to expend some energy. So for that energy, you have to pay. So that's why for the normal work, we require up to 95 to 98%. Only for the space technology, for the nuclear reactors, for the research work, so they require 100%. That time the government is spending time, money on the research work. So there they spend money. Otherwise, for the common normal work, so 90 up to 98% is enough. So that is collected, and that is taken to the either laboratory or the industry where is required. So it is made use, or it is studied the properties. So it is a pure nitric acid. As I said, is colorless, and if it is having some color, it is because of what? Because of NO2, which comes keep escaping, because its temperature is below the room temperature. So that's why it keep escaping. So it is due to the dissolved NO2, which gives yellowish color to the nitric acid. So that is not the pure. So if it is a pure, if the percentage of HNO3 is more, so NO2 is keep escaping. That looks like as if some gas is coming. So that is called what? Fuming and fuming HNO3. So fuming HNO3 means what? Fumes are coming out. That is the meaning. Okay. So fumes of NO2 keep escaping, and it which is pungent, irritating smell. So choking smell. So we don't like it. Highly hazardous. So we don't. We have to use special filters or masks for the area where we are working. Okay. So again, density is given here. All the parameters are given. So density part and the bubbles at 83.6 degrees centigrade, all those data is given, and at the end color, and which is causes rankles. So rankles are some irritation type feeling, that is called rankles. Okay, not wrinkles. Wrinkles are age factor. Okay, this is rankle means kind of irritation. So when it falls on the skin, which gives some yellow stain, it is reacting with the skin cells, human cells. So that all happen all together. The one common word is what? That is called rankles. Okay, that is called a kind of irritation to the skin. Hmm? Okay. So next, what will go? So we'll go here. Right. Now this one, chemical properties of nitric acid. Okay, after understanding the some physical properties, now we'll go to the chemical properties. Hmm? So first is what? HNO3. So slightly unstable, keep giving NO2. So that's why that equation I wrote here. So HNO3 gives NO2. So even under the normal temperature also, due to the because HNO3's boiling point is lesser than the boiling point of water. So how water evaporates at all the times below the boiling point in the same way. So HNO3 also when kept open, okay, especially in the warm conditions like April, May, so that time it keep escaping NO2, so it is slightly unstable. And yellow color, once again I wrote with red ink, so red font, so that is due to what? NO2 escaping. Now this is the proof that HNO3 contains O2. Okay, we know formula wise, but when we have to prove using experiment, so here we prepare oxygen by the decomposition of what? Nitric acid under the strong hard glass test tube. Special test tubes are there. They are called as the Pyrex glass. So that is made use for making the boiling tubes. So in the boiling tubes we carry out the decomposition reaction. So here we get the equation, and O2 comes out from the HNO3. Okay, this is what decomposition of HNO3 to NO2 and the O2. So NO2 escapes, so whereas it dissolves in the water, whereas O2 insoluble comes out and collected on the in the gas jar, and oxygen being what, lighter than air, so this is collected by the downward displacement of water. So depend upon the density, if the gas is heavier than air, then we can't displace the water. So directly we go for what? Upward displacement of air. But when the gas is lighter than air, that time we fill the entire gas jar with water, so that we can remove the air from the gas jar, and we invert the same gas jar into the water trough. So thereby we give some delivery tube connection. So from that, when the gas enters, water comes out. That arrangement is there at the bottom. So by the downward displacement of water, we collect the oxygen gas if the gas is lighter than air. Okay, so depend upon the nature I told. Okay, so in this way, when the oxygen is collected, how to know that this is oxygen? So just you bring on a burning mastic, so it burns with dazzling what brightness, because it is a pure oxygen, no? So it supports burning like anything, pure condition. So that clearly shows that it is a oxygen gas. Then we can conclude that HNO3 is made up of what? Oxygen. So Oxygen is prepared by many ways, by using potassium chlorate, potassium nitrate, all those who have O in the formula, which are slightly unstable. So they are made use in preparation of what? Oxygen. In the same way, HNO3 is also made use in preparing the oxygen. This is just to see whether oxygen is there or not, but commercially oxygen is prepared in the laboratory by using potassium chlorate. Now second property is what? Acidic nature. So it is strong acid. Immediately it gives proton. Okay. So the moment proton comes and H2O converts into H3O plus, and NO3 is remains in the so the aqueous solution of HNO3 is like this. So due to the easy availability of hydrogen to the water, so HNO3 is the strong electrolyte or the strong acid. This is checked by using the knowledge of chemical equilibrium 11th class by the what? By the pKa value. Second important property of nitric acid. Among the three acids which are called as mineral acids, most common lab acids, HNO3, H2SO4, SCl, okay. It is the HNO3 which is the strong oxidizing agent. So on two reasons, we expect its oxidizing nature. Number one, please check the OS of N in the HNO3. When we calculate the ON or the OS of nitrogen in HNO3, it is highest. It is plus 5. Okay. So when the N is in the highest OS, then N cannot go for further increase in the ON. Already it is in the highest OS. Further it is impossible. Only thing is it can go for lower OS. So because nitrogen can go for the lower OS very easily, so this converting the what decrease in the ON is taken what? It is undergoing reduction. Okay. So an oxidizing agent what? It helps the oxidation by undergoing the reduction. Last year redox reaction. So that's why, because the ON or the OS of the nitrogen is the highest, topmost among the all available OS of nitrogen, so it can only go for reduction, decrease in the ON, not increasing. So that is one reason. So second is what? Second is what? HNO3 gives a nascent O, free O. Okay, that free O is made use for the oxidation processes. So what is the reason number one? It is in the highest OS, it can go for only decrease but not the increase. Second is it gives on decomposition free O, nascent O, active O, unstable O, which is made use for the oxidation process. The one who gives O is called as what? Oxidizing agent. It is agent. How we have agent in the office, So LIC agent like that. This is what agent which is helping by giving oxygen for the oxidation. Therefore, this is called oxidizing agent. This is the classical way of explaining. So electronically, we explain by the decrease increase in the ON, that is separate. So by giving O and by going for the decrease in the ON on both ways, on both grounds, we can aram se explain that HNO3 is best and the strong oxidizing agent. Okay, right. You please see all these oxidation properties of our HNO3. So with dilute, with both concentrated, both are there. So but only thing is you have to see the important product is what? With the concentrated, it is giving NO2. That is important. Okay. So whenever we use concentrated HNO3 for the oxidation process, it is NO2 comes out. If you use dilute, either NO or nitrous oxide, N2O. Okay. So, but with the concentrated strong condition, it is the reddish brown colored NO2. So that is shown here with copper also, with with zinc also. So one more point is what? In the case of oxidation reactions of the HNO3, I told it gives a nascent O, and that O will snatch hydrogen from the acid and converts itself into what? H2O. That H2O is also one of the important products of oxidation reactions of HNO3. Okay, that you can please be careful while writing the equation. So with concentrated NO2, with the dilute either N2O or NO, and water is common in all the oxidation reactions of HNO3. Okay, right. Now this is regarding as there are some metals like chromium, aluminum. So those metals, they first in the beginning they'll react. Okay, then they develop a kind of layer on the surface. So that layer is called what? protective layer for the next layer beneath. So that means in the beginning it is there. Afterwards, as the time passes, they don't show oxidation process because of the they develop some kind of passive cover, passive layer, passive film coating. So that's why. So they don't react, especially S block आराम से, P block आराम से, D block some, and some develops the passive film covering the first layer, so that second layer is protected. And the next point you can see it reacts not only with the metals, it also reacts with the non-metals. Okay, so with nitrogen, and I have not written N here, so please add. So with nitrogen, with the carbon, with the sulfur, with phosphorus, so most of the important non-metals are made to react with the HNO3. HNO3 is the most user-friendly oxidizing agent and acid also. So accordingly, we get the desired products. So then what is next here? This is the most important from exam point and from the knowledge point also. Okay, this is what? This is regarding the brown ring test. This test we carry out in the lab, and this test is for what? This is the test for nitrate ion, NO3 1 minus. So in the 11th class and in the 12th class, in the qualitative analysis, that is the salt analysis, so you are given on salt, simple salt. Okay, then you have to tell the name of the salt. You will not tell the name, simply you will give the salt. So, and we will give the chart. So by referring to the chart, there are some properties written in the chart. So you carry out some tests. So to which properties it is telling, to which property it is giving positive test or the confirmative test, then we will come to the conclusion that so this salt is either chloride or bromide or nitrate or the sulfate, like that. So which sulfate, whether it is sodium sulfate or potassium sulfate. For again, there are some tests for the positive ions. So there are two tests: test for a positive ion and test for the negative ion, anion. So both will carry out, and at the end, the positive ion I got is this one, and the negative ion I got is this one, and we add by the crisscross method of the 9th class. So we'll make a formula. So the today's salt is this one. In this way, we'll report. So for this entire process, you are given in the during practice hour 3 hours, and in the examination only 1 hour, because in practical examination you have to carry out 3 tests. Okay, 1 hour this salt, 1 hour titration, and 1 hour content based experiment. So all 3 together 3 hours it is. So that we'll discuss later when the practical starts. So now timing, what is the brown ring test? Okay, why it is called brown ring? So this is a kind of brown colored what product forms in the test tube. So because we are adding H2SO4 slowly on the sides of the test tube, so in the beginning that brown color complex forms that looks like a ring due to the shape of the test tube. So when you shake it, when you add more, so entire what sample looks like a brown colored sample. So that's why due to the appearance like a ring color brown, so it is called what? Brown ring test, and the best test till today for the nitrate ion, because nitrate ion is there in the HNO3, because HNO3 it is H plus and NO3 1 minus, so it has to give positive test for the brown ring. So for this what you do, we take the sample which contains NO3. So today's sample is what? HNO3, which contains NO3 group, NO3 1 minus. So that is taken in the test tube, and the freshly prepared iron sulfate we add. Okay, so then we will shake it. After shaking, slowly we add along the sides of the test tube concentrated sulfuric acid. So thereby complex forms. The complex is written here. Okay, it is hexa, aqua, nitro, all those names are there. So that we start when the IUPAC nomenclature starts for the coordination chemistry. So I have to tell all the rules. So this is the complex forms. This is called a brown colored complex, and that's why it looks. This is the actual practical figure you will see when you do it on your own. Okay, so that is brought just to understand time being. So in this way it appears in the test tube. When you shake it, entire sample in the test tube becomes brownish. Okay, so when the brown ring occurs, then straight away you say the given compound, given sample contains NO31 minus guarantee, confirmed. Okay, so how in the through RT-PCR we confirm COVID 19, sorry, COVID 19. In the same way, we confirm nitrate through this test called as the brown ring test, the most popular till MSc. Okay, so not only in the +1, +2 level, for the BS also same test is there for the nitrate ion. So that will carry out in the laboratory. So accordingly we report. Okay.
Sir, your mic is off.
We are unable to hear.
Sir, unmute
Sir,
yourself,
your
sir.
mic is off.
So main use of nitric acid is I told in the fertilizer. So along with ammonia, some ammonium compounds are made, and other uses are like nylon, where we use adipic acid because nylon is a polyamide, so synthetic polyamide. So to make a nylon adipic acid, so we use this nitric acid. Plus, apart from the nylon and in the organic chemistry, as a lab agent or as a toilet cleaning, sometimes toilets are not washed properly, so for months together, so that time stains will not go, ammonia stains will not go. So that time to dissolve the ammonia stains or the some other stains developed, we pour acid HNO3 and HCl. So thereby those stains are dissolved, and once again whitish commodity is made ready. So in this way, there are some other uses are there. Okay, to make gold to dissolve, because gold is insoluble in the all acids. It is only in the aquaresia. Okay, so aquaresia is called what, royal water. So aquaresia is the ratio of HCl and HNO3 in the ratio of HCl is 3 volumes, HNO3 1 volume. So in that volume we will take, we will make a uh, mixture. That mixture gives out the nascent chlorine. So that nascent chlorine is responsible for the dissolution of the gold. So that is a test for the gold also. When the gold is pure, it is soluble only in the aquaresia. In general word, it is called as tejab. Okay. So in Hindi or which language I don't know. So tejab is the same chemical name for the aquaresia. So mixture of HNO3 and the HCl. So it's highly strong. So the moment it falls on the skin, bristle starts. Okay. So we should be very careful when the gold is dissolving what out of the skin. Okay. So sometimes we see some many cases of acid throwing. So on the skin, so totally skin is deformed. So we get a different shape. So once again, that person has to undergo treatment. So that is what cosmetic people do. So plastic surgery. So all those we learn. So all these are what? So uses of nitric acid. That is today we learned about the preparation on small scale using nitrates, and the preparation on the large scale by the Oswald process, taking the ammonia as the starting material, then properties and uses of the nitric acid. So this is what today's session, and in the next session, so we are starting the phosphorus part of the same 15th, because 4 groups are there, 15, 16, 17, 18. So individually we have to discuss, in general we have to discuss. So it takes a lot of time, mostly maybe 1 full month. So okay, no problem. We'll discuss aram se all the groups. So now, so the session is over. So any doubts, if you have, I'm ready to answer. Or if at all no doubts, very simple preparation. So I think we will wind up automatically to wind up by 12, 13, 10. Okay. So ready for anything. My co-host. So this Shivang Sahu's technique made me very easy. Anybody can come and join. No need to wait in the lobby. Okay. So this technique of co-host. I was not knowing how to go about the technology part, but it is Shivang Sahu, Chaitanya. So thank you. So that's why even if you join late also, not a problem. So without my help, your friend is helping to join. So any doubts, most welcome.
Sir,
Yeah. Yes, please.
nothing.
Okay. Okay, now. So then
Yes, sir.
we will wind up this nitric acid.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll go to the second part of the 15th in our forthcoming sessions. Okay. So it takes again a few days. So that is the 15th group completes. Then we'll go to the oxygen family. Again, SO2 is there, H2SO4 is there. Okay. Sulfur is there in that, oxygen is there, preparation of O2, ozone. So that is the 16th. 17th group halogen. In that chlorine is there, HCl is there with chlorine, with hydrogen. Then interhalogen compounds are there. At the end, 18th, chemical least reactive. There are some compounds of xenon that will study structure part. So it's a big journey from Kanyakumari to Jammu Kashmir. Okay. So till then, keep studying, keep in touch with the subject content. So thank you, my dear students.
Sir.
Thank you very much.